Eala debuts at Australian Open, a new chapter for Filipino tennis. Filipino tennis sensation Alexandra Eala makes her main draw debut at the Australian Open, AO, in Melbourne on Monday. Since breaking into the top 100 in the Women's Tennis Association, WT, rankings in March last year after a stellar run at the Miami Open, Eala gained a direct entry in the year's first Grand Slam event after not getting past the first round of the qualifying stages from 2023 to 2025. World number 49 Eala sees action in the round of 128 at 9:40 a.m., taking on number 100 Alicia Parks of the United States at Melbourne Park Court 6. "It feels great, I'm super excited," said the 20-year-old Eala on Friday in the tournament's kickstart press conference. "You know, coming in as a main draw player gives a different vibe, especially with the struggles I had in the past coming here. So, I'm super excited coming here in full force," she said. Eala said she's in the best shape possible for her main draw debut appearance after reaching the semifinals at the ASB Classic in Auckland and an exhibition match at the Kooyong Classic in Melbourne. "I think I've planned well and my team has done well to arrive here in the best shape possible. It's a Grand Slam, so we're not looking over that fact, and I'm ready. I'm here," she said. If Eala beats Parks, she will enter the round of 64 and face either Czech Karolina Muchova or Romanian Jacqueline Christian. At the ASB Classic, she dropped Croatians Dana Vekic and Petra Marcinko and Polish Magda Linette before yielding to Chinese Wang Xinyu in the semis on January 10th. "Getting matches always helps before slams, so I'm confident with how I'm playing. It doesn't mean that matches aren't going to be tough here, so I'm ready for playing here," added Eala, who repeated over Vekic at the Kooyong Classic on January 14th. Eala ranks significantly higher than Parks, but the 25-year-old American will not be an easy opponent. Parks may have fallen at the ASB Classic opener and at the Hobart International second-round qualifiers to start the year, but she is a proven winner, at least in the early stages of not just the Australian Open but the other majors as well. She reached the third round of the 2024 Australian Open and the second round of the French Open and Wimbledon in 2023, the same year she ruled the 250-tier Lyon Open in France and achieved a career-best 40th rank. In comparison, Eala, a 125-level titleist at the Guadalajara Open last September, only moved past the first round of a major once in 3 attempts. She bowed out in the opener of the Roland Garros and Wimbledon last year before getting a breakthrough win at the US Open, taking down Danish Clara Tauson. Eala will also make her debut in the Australian Open doubles main draw on Tuesday. A 2020 AO Juniors doubles champion, Eala teams up with Brazilian Ingrid Martins against the Polish-Japanese tandem of Linette and Shuko Aoyama in the first round. Eala debuts at the Australian Open, a new chapter for Filipino tennis. In the global theater of tennis, few moments feel as electric as a player's first step onto the court at a Grand Slam, the sport's most storied stages where legends are born and history is written. For Alexandra Eala, that moment arrived in Melbourne in January 2026 as she made her main draw debut at the Australian Open, the season's first and most eagerly anticipated major. It was more than a personal milestone. It marked a defining moment for Philippine tennis and a fresh chapter in the nation's sporting narrative. From aspiring talent to Grand Slam main draw. At just 20 years old, Eala stands as one of the most promising talents in women's tennis today. Her journey to Melbourne Park, the home of the Australian Open, has been anything but ordinary. After rising steadily through the ranks of the professional circuit, Eala's breakthrough in 2025 put her in the spotlight. That year, she accomplished feats unheard of for a Filipino player, cracking the top 50 in the WTA rankings, winning her first Grand Slam match at the US Open, and dazzling at premier tournaments against world-class opponents. For years, the Australian Open remained the one missing piece in her Grand Slam story. She had attempted to qualify before, but success eluded her, until now. This time, she earned direct entry into the main draw, a reflection of her improved ranking and confidence. A debut on the biggest stage. The morning of her Australian Open debut, the atmosphere in Melbourne Park was vibrant. A mix of anticipation and pride rippled through the stands as Filipino fans and supporters from around the world rallied behind her. With millions watching back home and abroad, Eala stepped onto the hard courts, ready to compete against American Alicia Parks, a seasoned player ranked near the top 100. "It feels great. I'm super excited," Eala said in her pre-match press interaction, reflecting an athlete ready to embrace the challenge and opportunity that comes with playing on tennis's biggest stage. Her matchup against Parks was more than just a first-round contest. It was a symbolic confrontation between two eras, one established and one emerging, and a chance for Eala to announce her arrival among the tennis elite. A nation's hope anchored in one player. In the Philippines, where basketball and boxing have traditionally commanded sports headlines, Eala's rise has ignited new enthusiasm for tennis. Her ascent is not only a personal triumph but also a catalyst for a sport still gaining traction in the country. Across communities, from tennis clubs in Manila to makeshift courts in provincial towns, young hopefuls began picking up rackets with renewed inspiration. They saw in Eala something larger than a champion, a trailblazer. Her impact goes beyond match scores. Eala has become a living testament to what discipline, passion, and unwavering belief can yield, especially for athletes from countries with limited tennis infrastructure and tradition. She carries the hopes of a nation that has long yearned for representation on the world's most celebrated courts. The importance of representation. Representation in sport holds power. For young Filipino players, particularly girls and young women, watching Eala compete at the Australian Open is transformative. It sends a message: success on the world stage is attainable. Tennis, once perceived as distant or niche in the Philippines, now finds itself in the mainstream conversation. Eala's journey resonates especially strongly in a sport where Asian players have historically faced underrepresentation. Her visibility contributes to a broader narrative of increasing diversity in tennis, a narrative that champions talent from all corners of the globe. Beyond singles, a multifaceted rise. While her singles debut captured the headlines, Eala's presence in Melbourne extended further. She also competed in mixed formats and warm-up events, including exhibition matches and lead-up tournaments. These experiences not only prepared her physically but also showcased her versatility and competitive spirit. Off the court, the support she received underscored the growing Filipino community in Australia and elsewhere. Fans brought flags, cheer signs, and chants that echoed around the precincts of Melbourne Park, demonstrating a level of engagement rarely seen for a Filipino athlete in an international tennis arena. A broader rise. Filipino tennis on the world map.